Snohomish High School. It's the Keith Gilbertson Senior Sports and Fitness Center. Tom Lafferty along with Joel Boyer. Thanks for being with us here and ready for tonight's game between the Northwest Conference's Ferndale Golden Eagles and from the Western Conference 3A, the Snohomish Panthers. The team's about to be introduced on the court, so we'll just kind of do the introductions right along with the folks here in the gymnasium. Our game tonight brought to you by Screen Printing Northwest, the Law Office of Russell and Hill, the Buzz Inn Steakhouse, Glass by Lund, Snohomish County PUD, Ace Hardware Stores in Lake Stevens, Everett, and Stanwood, and Allstate Insurance Agent Brian Reed. And so the Ferndale Golden Eagles, Ashley Thomas, a 5'6" guard. She is a senior. And for the Snohomish Panthers, a 5'6" guard. She is a sophomore. That is Cheyenne Rogers. As they're doing a little Ferndale Golden Eagles, they'll start number 15, Jamie Johnson, she's more like a 5'10", guard, and she is a junior. And then Kaylee Soderstrom, a 5'8" guard. She is a junior for the Snohomish Panthers. So we're not going to have a lot of height on the court tonight, as Brianna Burns, a 5'7" guard. She's a senior for the Golden Eagles. And for the Snohomish Panthers, Ella Gallatin, the 5'9". She is a guard, and she is a sophomore again. Her sister Kinsley will not play tonight, as she is nursing a quad injury, and better to keep her out in the non-league games and wait for the counters before you bring her in out off the bench. Chelsea LaPlante, a 6-foot forward. She is a senior for the Ferndale Golden Eagles. And for the Snohomish Panthers, it'll be Sarah Rogers. Rogers, a 5'7" guard, and she is a freshman in the starting lineup. Then Hannah Barleen, a 5'9" guard. She's a sophomore. And for the Panthers, Kaylin Beckman, a 5'11" forward, as a senior. So those are the starting lineups for the Snohomish Panthers and for the Ferndale Golden Eagles. Donnie Johnson, Darren Lingle, and Jeff Helmer are the officials. We'll come back in 30 seconds with tonight's opening tip-off and game action right here on KRKO. Yeah, 2 minutes. I didn't know we were going to do that. So the ball game come a minute and a half into it with a 2-0 lead for Ferndale. Ball knocked right back to Beckman as it was almost stolen away, and she just kind of volleyballed it back. Back over to the left-hand side. Outside three, ball on the way by Soderstrom, won't go. Put back won't go, and it'll be controlled by Ferndale. Ferndale grabs the defensive rebound, and out of backcourt comes Ashley Thomas. Thomas up the floor to Johnson. Johnson right in front of Ken Roberts, standing in front of the Snohomish bench down to our left.
The Panthers sitting back in a 2-3 zone as well, but I shouldn't even say sitting back, because they're really trying to attack and give pressure up top with their two guards.
Nice rifle pass to the baseline to Thomas, who lays it up and in. The Ferndale Golden Eagles have a 4-0 lead over Snohomish, as we're at 5:47 to go in the opening quarter of action, the opening game of the season here in 2019-2020. Beckman gets fouled. She was going to go up for a lay-in. I think the thing we're going to see by Beckman when we watch her over the next few years, you got to start that lay-in up higher, right?
Yeah.
A couple times she's been kind of...
Just kind of giving that little crab dribble down low, but you want to make sure you get that ball up to your chin as quick as possible and try to really make that obvious, make that contact going up through the defender, maybe not so low.
LaPlante with the foul, first personal, second team. Beckman first free throw, no good. So Snohomish 0 for 3 at the line so far. Next one is good. The first points on the board for Kaylin Beckman. Snohomish down 4-1 on their home floor, their home opener. And
staying in that 2-3 zone, Tom. Staying in that 2-3 zone. Both teams are.
Barleen at the right wing. Looking down low. 18 of the shot clock. Starts the dribble. Looks right. Swings the pass over to Burns. Burns underneath. Here's a little runner that won't go. Kind of out of control there by Barleen. And then a foul is going to be called off the rebound, off the miss by Barleen there. But it'll be on Snohomish. And it's going to be whistled here on Sarah Rogers. That'll be her first personal foul, second team foul.
Sarah Rogers, just a freshman, Tom. And you look, there's some age and some youth there for the Panthers, with Gallatin as a sophomore, Rogers as a freshman, her sister Cheyenne Rogers as a sophomore. All three of them starting tonight.
On the dribble, on the inbounds, outside though, three ball. That's an air ball, no good in the right corner. She shot. Jamie Johnson thought she got fouled. She didn't. Ball went out of bounds. It'll be Snohomish Panther ball.
Couldn't tell if there might have been a tip there as the defender was running pretty hard to try to get out and contest that shot, but the refs didn't say there was. Panther ball coming up the court.
4-1 lead for Ferndale. 5:05 to play. Opening quarter.
Ferndale doing a 2-3 zone, but they're trapping up high right at the timeline there, Tom.
And Donnie Johnson will call a blocking foul. She got double teamed and then kind of stuck out the knee.
Absolutely, it's a little bit of a trap. Probably look for Ferndale to drop back into their regular 2-3 zone, but both teams are really trying to pressure and create that up top against the point guard and try to make them really think and have to make a lot of tough decisions as they're trying to facilitate and start the offense.
Hannah Barling with the foul, her first personal, third team foul. And Snohomish with the basketball. Moving to our right in their white uniforms. Outside three ball. Banks it in. Cheyenne Rogers from outside and ties the score at 4.
Well, it wasn't from the parking lot, Tom,
No.
but the bank is open, so...
Yeah, you open up the drive-through window because she put it off the window. Here's the shot on the way. It's up, and it's good. A little underneath lay-in, up and good for the Ferndale Golden Eagles. Kaylee Bungard with that. And it's a 6-4 lead back for the Golden Eagles.
One thing, Tom, I'm seeing right now is I don't know if the Panthers have really boxed off a Golden Eagle quite yet. The Ferndale hasn't really gotten they've gotten a lot of second chance opportunities, not a lot of second chance points per se, but they're getting an offensive rebound nearly every possession down here. Someone's just got to get their butts into the opposite team and get some box outs.
Well, eventually opportunities become points.
Absolutely.
Here's Bungard picks up the foul, her first personal, fourth team. Kaylin Beckman at the free throw line. She misses the first. She was 1 for 2 her first trip to the line. For Snohomish, checking in is Gracie Van Asche. And another one coming up here for Beckman at the stripe with 4:15 to go in the opening quarter. She hits the second. It's a 6-5 lead for Ferndale. Ferndale from the Northwest Conference in the 3A, 2A, 1A division, but that's a tough basketball league. That's a tough league in every sport.
Oh, absolutely.
Girls Tiddlywinks, I think, is tough, too.
I don't want to face them.
Here's a shot on the way. It's up, going to be no good. Battle for the rebound. Back up one more time. One more time, no, it won't go. Jamie Johnson. Johnson with a couple of offensive rebounds there. One off her own miss, and now she'll have to earn them at the free throw line.
Well, like you said, Tom, just a second ago, those opportunities lead to points. And so let's see if she can't cash these in here with 2 free throws.
The foul is on Kaylin Beckman, her first personal foul, third team foul. First free throw, no good for Jamie Johnson, the junior. And Ken Roberts says, let's talk about it, and he will call a timeout, and we'll step aside with 3 minutes, 55 seconds to play in the first quarter of action. It's Ferndale 6, Snohomish 5. Back in 30 seconds right here on KRKO.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi electric cooling and heating system allows you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. And because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
In boys basketball, Shorecrest is playing at Lakeside. Meadowdale is at Burlington Edison. Everett is at Squalicum. Cedar Crest at Anacortes. Snohomish is playing at Ferndale. So the boys team from these two teams are playing up north. Kamiak's at Lake Washington. West Seattle is at Glacier Peak. Next free throw is going to be a miss. Snohomish grabs the rebound, down by 1. 3:50 to go, opening quarter. Left side Gallatin. Ella Gallatin gets it back underneath and kind of rifles a pass right into the face of Cheyenne Rogers, who was kind of surprised by the pass being there, and then put up a shot and missed it. They're going to call a jump ball off the rebound, and on the held ball, it'll be Snohomish ball in front court.
Ferndale with half a line change right there, Tom, bringing in 3. You see both teams are kind of trying to figure out their matchups. Coaches are going to be trying to figure out who works best with who when we start getting into the nitty-gritty of things here. It's going to be a lot of feeling each other out for their own sakes.
Dribble drive along the baseline off the inbound. Snohomish with it. Now they swing it back out to the top of the key. Almost stolen away from Soderstrom. She's still having a hard time grabbing the handle. Trying to bounce pass underneath to Beckman. Ball's going to be knocked away by Ferndale. Grabbed by the Golden Eagles. Up the floor they come. And then the ball's knocked out of bounds by Gallatin. So Ferndale retains possession in front court with 25 to go on the shot clock, 3:20 to play in the quarter. And now Sarah Rogers will check in for Snohomish.
Yeah, and that's one of those things, too. Caitlin Beckman only has one foul. Ella Gallatin only one foul. But with Kinsley Gallatin out of the game tonight, senior Avery Alba out of the game tonight, you want to be able to have those players at your disposal and not based on their foul count.
Ferndale with a pass down low. Shot no good. One more time, no good. A couple of misses there by Kaylee Bungard. Bungard got that rifle pass from out at the right wing from Jacqueline Denham.
And that was an offensive rebound, and now they get the ball coming out of bounds, too. So even though they didn't secure it, it was batted out by the Panthers. 7-5 right now, Ferndale up. They really haven't taken advantage of all those second chance opportunities right now, but what a steal right there by Vanaschi, taking that ball out as the shot was about to go up.
Ochoa was trying for the bucket and then had the ball just stripped away from her, so it'll be right back to Snohomish. Panthers with it, down by 2, 7-5 to Ferndale. Swing it right side as Soderstrom kind of lost her balance as they swing it around the deep in the left-hand corner to Ella Gallatin. Dribble drive along the baseline, double team there. Back out to the top of the key as they work the perimeter here, and then Ferndale says, we'll take it away. Thank you. Ella Ochoa had it for a second and picked it up, and then gets it to her teammate who has the ball go off her fingertips and out of bounds off the floor.
I'll tell you, Tom, this Ferndale team, they are scrappy, and they are flying on their 2-3 defense. They're really trying to double-team those corners when the ball's going down low for the Panthers, and they're able to do so. Ella Gallatin beat that double, passed out of it, but Ferndale was able to fly around and not let so much game open shots. I'm really impressed by what Terry Yost has already got going in her first game of her first season.
5 turnovers for Snohomish, for Ferndale, 4 for the Panthers. So Snohomish with it. Yeah, they're a scrappy bunch. I think Coach Yost said that in that her pregame interview. Here's a shot on the way, but it's going to be a travel here by Ella Gallatin. She was trying for the shot, and I think she just shuffled her feet to get set.
Just didn't catch it clean right there. She had to take that shuffle step. And there's another turnover on that inbounds right there by Ferndale. So not quite what coaches are looking for in those early moments. You don't want to have the same number of points as you do turnovers with 2:20 left in the first, but we're pretty close on that.
So, yeah, almost 6-5 is the turnover in favor of Ferndale. 7-5 is the score on the scoreboard. That's the only one that really counts at the end of the night. Here's a little runner up, no good, by Beckman. Ball knocked away from her and out of bounds. As she tried to go around the defenders, and the defenders for Ferndale says, yeah, not so much. Especially inside Chelsea LaPlante. On the inbounds,
Great
it goes.
cut.
As cutting through there was Ella Gallatin, and she gets fouled on the way up off that inbounds pass, and she'll go to the free throw line.
What a great cut right there by Ella Gallatin, coming right down the middle, getting fed the right way.
So Burns picks up the foul. Brianna Burns, her second personal foul, 5th team foul. First free throw is good for Ella Gallatin, and she will get another. Snohomish, a team that finished 4th place in the state 3A championships last year down at the Tacoma Dome. Along with their district mates, Glacier Peak also finished 4th in the Class 4A. No shot. They're saying a lane violation.
Kayla
Apparently.
Soderstrom accidentally put that foot in just a hair early. Donnie Johnson caught it and waved it off.
So it'll be a 7-6 lead for Ferndale coming up on 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. We're at Snohomish High School tonight on a Tuesday. We're going to have a foul called. Whistled here on Cheyenne Rogers picks up the foul. Her first personal, 4th team foul. So out of bounds near side with exactly 2 minutes to play in the quarter. Looking to throw it in. Ball knocked away, and then knocked away by a Panther, but then grabbed right back by Hannah Barlene. She says, thank you very much. As now Ferndale will work the perimeter. Now they go down low. A little runner on the way, no good by Josie Klein. Rebound controlled by Snohomish. Panthers with it. Out of backcourt they come. Ella Gallatin thinks better of it, backs away, and they'll set up the half-court offense. A minute 40 to go, 20 on the shot clock. We're in the first quarter. Rogers with it, the left wing. Goes around a screen set by Beckman. Now to the right side, it goes to Soderstrom. Now to Beckman again. Foul line jumper. Rattles out, no good. Kept alive there by Snohomish, but grabbed by Ferndale. The Golden Eagles with the basketball. Jocelyn Sieg will bring it out of backcourt. Up the right side it goes. Barling kicks it down low. That's the ball stolen away. Kind of just intercepted, really, there by Kaylin Beckman, and it'll be Snohomish basketball as they bring it up the floor. Minute 9 to play, opening quarter, down by a point to Ferndale. Panthers with it, moving to our right. Rogers.
We're really missing a senior who wants to take control of the pace of this game, Tom.
Bounce pass goes into the corner. 3 ball on the way. Short, no good by Ella Gallatin. And then a foul's called off the rebound. We're going the other way. It'll be Ferndale basketball. And they're going to whistle this one on Ella Gallatin. That's her second personal foul, 5th team foul. And we will see Ella Gallatin go to the bench with 2 personals.
Yeah, that's that hard thing where she's as veteran a player, having started last year as a freshman on that team that got 4th in state, Tom. Played a number of minutes, a lot of big minutes, key minutes in the playoffs as well as all season long. She's as veteran of a player as you have. You're also your new point guard, but now she's got 2 fouls on the bench. So definitely a little bit of time for the Panthers to kind of look and see, okay, maybe a secondary point guard, secondary positions, how are we going to handle that?
So Ferndale basketball, they'll bring it out of backcourt. Hannah Barleen comes across the timeline. Check it, it's Chelsea LaPlante across the timeline.
Panthers in a man-to-man right now, a little bit more harassing, a little bit more getting out in those passing lanes, active hands right now.
Jamie Johnson dribble drive along the left side, 10 of the shot clock. Johnson still with it, and then they're going to call her for the offensive foul. You know, she went up with her shoulder into the chin of the defender, Kayla Soderstrom. And they're going to call her for the offensive foul.
And you know what? She kind of did it twice right there, and Donnie Johnson let it go the first time. You could tell she took one hand off the basketball, tucked it away, kind of had that feeling of disgust, and then decided to let it go another time. And Donnie said not so much.
So first personal foul, 6th team foul. Johnson with the foul. 6 team fouls.
And Ella Gallatin back into the game here for the final possession. The Panthers going to hold for 1 shot. 19 on the game clock right now. Shot clock dead. Ella Gallatin is their point guard. Definitely want her in. Hope we don't get one on this offensive possession.
On top of the key they go to Cheyenne Rogers. Down to 10 seconds to go. Outside by Gallatin. Misses. No good. Rebound taken down by LaPlante. Down to 5. Down to 4. Double teamed in backcourt. Up the floor they go. And they will not get a shot off. Almost a runner that would not go, and that was by Kaylee Bungard. And we've reached the end of the first quarter with our score. The Ferndale Golden Eagles 7, the Snohomish Panthers 6. Back with the second quarter right after this timeout.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
For the Ferndale Golden Eagles over the Snohomish Panthers, 1 quarter in the books in the first game of the regular season for both these teams. Snohomish will play Cedar Crest here at Snohomish High School on Friday, and then they turn right around next Monday and host the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. So 3 home games to start festivities here in 2019-2020. As Ferndale opens here with Snohomish, and then they go home for 3 games against Redmond on Friday. Next Thursday, a week from Thursday, Mount Vernon, and then Black Hills will play at Saturday the 14th at Ferndale as well. Here's a turnover by Ferndale off the inbounds here. 6 seconds in. It'll be Snohomish Panther basketball down by 1.
Both teams playing some nice non-conference opponents there. Ferndale getting Redmond, and Black Hills is a pretty tough school that always have been traveling up there long distance from Olympia heading up there.
So Snohomish with the basketball, and we're going to have a foul called. That's going to be a foul, kind of a pushing foul there, and it'll be on Jamie Johnson. And we've got to look at the first quarter numbers with Buddy Patrick.
And Ferndale shot 3 for 10 from the field for 30%. Panthers 1 for 7 for 14%. 1 for 5 from the three-point line, 20%.
7 minutes, 40 seconds to go here in the first half. A 7-6 lead for Ferndale. We've been stuck here for a while. And the foul was whistled here on Ferndale's Jamie Johnson, her second personal, 7th team foul. Snohomish no success at the free throw line, or hardly any. Grace Van Asche misses that one. Ball goes out of bounds off of a Snohomish Panther basketball or Snohomish Panther player, and it'll be Ferndale ball at the baseline underneath their own hoop with 25 on the shot clock.
And hearing those stats from Buddy Patrick, you would have thought the Panthers are down by maybe 5 or 6, 8 points.
Yep.
But it's those turnovers that have really hurt the Ferndale Golden Eagles with 9 turnovers so far in the game. They haven't really been able to cash in on those extra opportunities.
And they commit another one there. Snohomish gets the ball's knocked out of bounds by Ferndale on tough defense by the Panthers, and it'll be Snohomish basketball down by 1.
Ferndale in that 2-3 zone, still not extending it quite as much as they were early on, but still looking to get some pressure in those corners. Panthers have got to be careful getting that ball down low, getting a double team.
Got Beckman underneath and then fouled from over the top, and I think they're going to get Kaylee Bungard, her second personal foul, 8th team foul. And so Sarah Rogers checks back in for the Snohomish Panthers. Kaylin Beckman at the free throw line for the Panthers. This free throw, no good. They've had like 5 opportunities to hit maybe one free throw and tie the ball game.
And Beckman
Here's
is
the steal. Stolen away here by Kayla Soderstrom. Goes in, laying up too hard, no good. Kind of actually came up short. She kind of hit the underside of the rim a little bit. And another rebound by Ferndale. Golden Eagles have it. A near steal by Snohomish. Ball knocked out of bounds. Ferndale retains possession with 23 on the shot clock.
You kind of feel like the Panthers are so close to getting a steal. And they just have them by Kayla Soderstrom, but just so close. Right there. Tip balls out of bounds. Look for those, hopefully, for them to be able to catch up maybe a half a second earlier and maybe see if they can't start turning those into some steals, some easy lanes to start to maybe get in control of this game and find the pace they want to play at.
As Ferndale having a hard time moving the ball around. Now they do for an outside 3 ball that won't go. A miss by Jacqueline Denham. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Snohomish. So Ferndale will retain possession in their front court with a fresh 30 on the shot clock, and inbounds here from right in front of the Snohomish bench.
Lots of substitutions early, Tom, like we talked about before, trying to find the right matchups, the right chemistry of players with who. The Ferndale Eagles looks like they've been going 9 deep so far. I think the Panthers are right about 8 deep.
Here's a little nice pass underneath for a shot that's a miss, no good by Bungard. Check it, LaPlante. LaPlante missed a couple of times, and then the ball was out of bounds. And it'll be Snohomish ball. Another turnover by Ferndale. That's their 11th turnover in this ball game. Snohomish has 5 turnovers, none in the quarter here. We're at 6:29 to play in the first half. Offline shot, no good. Cheyenne Rogers with the miss. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Snohomish. Ferndale basketball.
And Snohomish is shooting pretty cold right now just from three-point land. With just that one three-pointer from earlier that was banked in by Cheyenne Rogers. But they're getting a lot of good open looks right now. Ferndale's getting a little caught flat-foot in that 2-3 zone. Really look for him to start flying out. Coach Terry Yost just called a timeout to probably talk about that. We got to make sure we're rotating a little bit quicker. Can't allow these open shots to go up.
So Terry Yost calls the timeout. It's a 30. We'll keep it right here. We mentioned Snohomish's schedule. Ferndale tonight, then hosting Cedar Crest and Glacier Peak. And then Glacier Peak and Snohomish will return the favor from a year ago when Prairie and Union came north to play the two schools. They'll head south on the 13th and 14th. Prairie and Union, pretty good ball clubs.
Oh yeah. And
like
that's,
Prairie, you know, like the 3A defending state girls champion.
Yeah, that team who didn't graduate everybody off that team either. And that's what Coach Ken Roberts talked about in that pregame interview. He said, we went 1-5, and that was some due to injuries last year. But they played the caliber of team like the Prairie who won the state title, like Union who had a pretty good season, like the Glacier Peak. I mean, they're playing really good non-conference to make their RPI great and make them a lot tougher come playoffs.
Ferndale with the basketball, moving to our left. Outside 3 ball, up and good. Jacqueline Denham drains the 3. and Ferndale opens up a 3-point lead, or 4-point lead. They equal their biggest lead of the ball game at 10-6 at the 6-minute mark to play in the first half. Kaylin Beckman has it, dribble drive through two defenders, but then the ball's going to be knocked away. Hit away from her from Chelsea LaPlante, and here comes Ferndale. Golden Eagles with a chance to extend their lead. They've led by as much as 4, which is where we are now. 19 on the shot clock, Ferndale with it.
Freshman Jada Andreessen, seeing her first minutes of her career for the Panthers, checked in to play the top part of that zone with Cheyenne Rogers.
Ochoa dribbles out of trouble, goes to the top of the court. Down to 5 seconds on the shot clock. Long outside jumper, good. That's a 3-ball, good by Jocelyn Sieg, and the lead is 7 points. Ferndale with their biggest lead of the game, 13-6, 5:12 to go in the first half.
Great look by Sieg. The defense just kind of dropped off or kicked back to her by LaPlante. What a great shot. Way to pull the trigger.
Golden Eagles just opening up some space now. Here's a little runner up too hard. No good. Missed by Rogers for Snohomish. And a pushing foul is going to be called off the rebound. And they're going to whistle this one on Kaylin Beckman. That's her second personal foul and 6th team foul. This has a look of, if Ferndale puts up a couple of more, it could get out of hand.
Yeah, this is kind of that point where, because it's a low-scoring game, 13-6 right now, just shy of the halfway mark of the second quarter, it does feel like that lower scoring, which sometimes we see, not all the time in girls basketball. I'm not going to set the sport back or anything like that, but just seeing that if you get down by a couple more, it's going to be a little bit tougher to come back from, especially early on without one of your strongest players in Kinsley Gallatin for the Panthers.
Jump ball called off a rebound miss by Ferndale. So the tie-up on the alternating possession will favor the Ferndale Golden Eagles. They'll keep it in their front court. 4:48 to go, first half, 13-6 the lead. And now the officials are having a little meeting as well. Donnie Johnson, Darren Lingle, and Jeff Helmer. I think they're talking about the possession arrow. We had it going to Snohomish's way. The arrow had
our arrow was shown in the right way, I thought.
Ferndale had it to start the quarter, and then they had an immediate turnover.
Yes.
So Ferndale had it. Should be Snohomish basketball.
If only they ask us, Tom, we got it correct.
Yeah, we do. Donnie, we're pointing the right way. It should be Snohomish ball. Ferndale had it. I can guarantee
they're asking the scoreboard operator who I had in class a number of years ago. He knows his stuff, but I think he might not have it correct this time.
Well, and in his favor, it was a weird inbound.
It absolutely was.
Yep. So they're going to not overrule it. It will be Ferndale basketball. We're always right. Just ask us. We haven't missed a call up here in 30 years. Here's a runner up, no good, by Chelsea LaPlante. Isn't that right? We've been sitting courtside, Joel, down at the Tacoma. Don't we have missed a call?
Haven't missed a call. Just ask me. I'll tell you all about it.
So it's a 15-6 lead. So Ferndale out to a 9-point lead now over the Panthers. Underneath, there's a runner that won't go. Foul called. Sarah Rogers had the shot that went up, would not go. The Panthers just not hitting, well, A, free throws, B, lay-ins.
And one of the things about what system the Panthers often run against a zone is you really need to have two posts working in concert with each other. One of those posts, Kaylin Beckman, a senior, has had a lot of moments in her career having to work this system. But the other post, being a freshman, Sarah Rogers, you just kind of wonder. It's her first game action. They're playing a pretty aggressive 2-3 zone. It's a little tough that this is a moment that's placed on your shoulders that can be tough to perform in.
Right.
She's a really high level soccer player as well, Tom. Started for the Snohomish Panthers this past year at the varsity. So it's not something that she's afraid of big sports moments, but your first game of your career is a tough one.
First free throw, no good. Second one is good. So Snohomish finally gets off the schneid. They've been stuck on 6 since the quarter break. It was 7-6 at the quarter, Ferndale. They lead it now 15-7. 4:22 to go in the first half. Golden Eagles with the basketball, moving to our left. As they try to loft it underneath, they go in, laying up, and good. Nobody there defensively. Kaylee Bungard goes behind the defenders and lays it up and in. The lead is 10.
And Snohomish Panthers right there in a man-to-man defense, but they had Kaylin Beckman unfortunately matched up on the point guard, which meant they didn't have that big presence of possibly a shot blocker inside. No size equals easy land for the Golden Eagles.
And so the Golden Eagles will commit the foul on the other end here, and Snohomish will send another player to the free throw line. And they will whistle this one on Kaylee Bungard, her third personal foul, 10th team foul. So far, the Snohomish Panthers, we're going to add up all the empty little circles on the score sheet for missed free throws because there have been a whole bunch so far.
Yeah.
9 misses. They're 3 for 9 from the free throw line, 3 for 12. We'll call that 3 for 13 now.
Absolutely. That is not. Let's not figure out that percentage, Tom, because that just hurts to hear that. 3 for 13.
So,
Luckily, the board just came back on, Tom. I think that was the Panthers' hope
Yeah.
for that to get reset and go back to zeros.
Ella Gallatin at the free throw line. Missed the first, made the second. It's 17-8 with just under 4 minutes to go. And here's a steal. It's going to be steal by Soderstrom. Soderstrom has it in the corner, gives it off to Gallatin. Back out to the top of the key. Looking for a backdoor pass up and no good by Soderstrom. Back out to top of the key for a 3 ball on the way. Good by Cheyenne Rogers. Rogers had it out top the first time, shot a rifle pass to the baseline. They kicked it back out off the miss, and then she buries that 3 and pulls them to within 6 at 17-11. Now double team, and a foul is going to be called on Cheyenne Rogers.
Ken Roberts is trying not to pull his hair out right there. You got him on the sideline in a trap. 2 sophomores doing a good job, really being active hands, and Cheyenne Rogers just reaches in. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just let the steal happen on the pass. Get a tip.
Jamie Johnson goes to the line. The foul was on Rogers, her 7th team. First free throw, only free throw by Johnson, no good, but a putback up is going to be no good by LaPlante, and the third opportunity here, it's going to be good for Jamie Johnson.
Just another 2 offensive rebounds, extra opportunities and possessions right there.
And a steal here by Ferndale, taken away by Brianna Burns. Stripped it first from the Snohomish Panthers. Quickly down the floor they come, and then Gallatin will knock the ball away. Up the floor they go. Here's having to chase it down there was Soderstrom. Never had a chance for an easy lay-in, but they do. They swing it down to the right side for a little 6-foot jumper up and good by Grace Van Asche, and it's a 6-point lead. Here's no defender back. They go deep on the pass down to the baseline to Jamie Johnson, lays it up and in. It's back to an 8-point lead at 21-13.
And Snohomish had a couple of nice buckets right there, but the problem is you don't want to be playing even basketball. You want to be getting ahead where you can get that bucket, then get a stop. Right now, Snohomish has got to work on finishing this possession with an offensive bucket and then getting a stop on the other end.
Here's Snohomish. There's Gallatin. Is split 2 defenders, lays it up and in.
There's that bucket we were hoping for, Tom. Now let's see if they can put a stop together to start cutting into this. The lead is now shrunk down to 6.
And here's a steal. Stolen away here by Cheyenne Rogers. Laying up good by Kayla Soderstrom. And Snohomish will call a timeout. It was a 10-point lead. It's now a 4-point lead for the Ferndale Golden Eagles. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. 2:07 to go in the first half. 4-point lead. Back with more after this timeout.
Beer.
So, Joel Boyer, you're not one to question Coach Ken Roberts.
Tom,
You knew I was going to bring it
I've
up.
only done it one time in my life, maybe twice. But right there, after that great run by the Panthers, they really kind of had the Golden Eagles kind of reeling, kind of on their heels. Coach Terry Yost was going to call it, but he called it first. Didn't quite understand it.
It's kind of like, get a couple of first downs. Let's keep going. Let's go. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Some
Yeah.
tempo. Yeah.
Yep. Let it keep running. Let it keep running.
Here's a blocking foul called on Snohomish as Ferndale has it. So it was a 10-point lead. It was 17-7. It's now 21-17. Snohomish down by 4. Cheyenne Rogers picks up a foul. That's her 3rd personal foul, 8th team foul, and free throws here for the Golden Eagles.
And right there, Cheyenne Rogers, a fiery competitor, Tom. Definitely wanted to get into this, got a little frustrated, reaching in, those kinds of things. It's just kind of that youth and inexperience of let the game come to you, let those happen. She picked up her third foul right there. She's not happy about it. She's going to learn about it, though.
Lane violation, so no shot. So it'll be Snohomish basketball. Down by 4, 2 minutes to play in the first half. As they swing it around the top of the key. Panthers with it. Jada Andreessen dribbles through a bunch of traffic, probably too much traffic, and finally had the ball stripped away from her. Up the floor they come. Here comes Ferndale, then running into a player. As Ferndale's Brianna Burns had it, and then kind of just ran over a Snohomish Panther. They finally called a foul after all of that happened, after there were bodies on the floor. Then this is going to be on Ferndale. Jamie Johnson will be called for the offensive foul. Okay, it was just a late whistle.
Yeah, it definitely was. Just kind of a lot of action going on there. And it looks like Ken Roberts is going to be subbing in senior Gracie Vanaschi here. But right now for the Panthers, they have 3 freshmen on the court in the first game of the season, along with sophomore Ella Gallatin. A lot of youth when you have some players injured, some not quite there, some in some foul trouble. You got to kind of adjust on the fly.
And this was not an offensive charging foul. It was a common foul because Jamie Johnson is called for the foul. Sarah Rogers is at the free throw line.
Yep.
Well, but even off of an offensive foul, there shouldn't have been. So this was a foul, not of the usual charge.
It was a loose
variety.
ball.
Yeah,
loose ball foul there.
As we have a little NBA action here with the loose ball foul. But burying the lead, Snohomish down by 2. They were down by 10 off the comeback. Ferndale with it. They've been stuck at 21 for a while. As they're Snohomish playing tough defense, they get it off for a laying up and good. Finally, taking charge here is Brianna Burns. I think she's a take charge type of player.
And sometimes when you kind of overplay, the Panthers are getting a little handsy, looking for some steals there, but they were beat on that backdoor cut. Ferndale now, for the first time all game, has dropped into a man-to-man defense here.
Dribble drive along the baseline. There is Kayla Soderstrom, closed off as they swing it back to the top of the key. Now to Gallatin. She's double teamed. Double spin move, and the lay-in is up and good, and the Panthers are down by 2.
Ella Gallatin had a little mouse in the house. Gardner there, a nice size matchup for her. Was able to get that ball on the block, just power that through with some nice nifty footwork.
Down to 48 seconds to go in the quarter. Out to the right side. Shot on the way. There's a 2-ball from about 16 feet away. It's a miss by Burns. Jump ball called, alternating possession, and it's going to be Snohomish basketball on the held ball. Actually, I think you missed one, buddy.
It's a good thing. It's
a
first game for a lot of people, you know.
Preseason for the stats guy, too. So baseline, out of bounds, Ferndale. 30 on the shot clock. 41 seconds to go in the first half. It's a 2-point lead for the Golden Eagles. On the inbounds it goes. Back out for a 3-ball off the side of the iron. No good by Ochoa. Who's got it? Snohomish. Panthers out of backcourt. Vanaschi with it. 2 on 3. Doesn't have the numbers, but lays it up and in, and we're tied at 23.
I don't know if anybody thought that was a great idea by Gracie Vanaschi to put that ball in the air, but it goes. So what do we know? That's a great play, Tom.
It was 2 on 3. The defenders were back, and she just kind of zigzagged her way through the defenders, laid it up and in, and it's a 23-all tie.
And don't look now, Tom, but 22 seconds left in the half. Panthers with the ball. They're going to wait for one possession. They have a chance to go in at halftime tied or even up in this game.
And they were down by 10 points just a little bit ago.
Not long at all. That was mid-second quarter.
I was writing it off, and I was thinking, well, this could get out of hand. Well, it didn't. Bounce pass to Beckman. Beckman loses the handle. Foul called. Snohomish could take their first lead here as Kaylin Beckman will be at the free throw line. And she'll have 2 shots coming up here because they are in the double bonus. And checking in will be Jada Anderson in just a moment. Beckman, free throw, rattles off, won't go.
And Kaylin Beckman we've talked, she's been a varsity player for 3 years. She's started some games last year. She's had some big moments. She's been in some bigger games and been able to do that. And she is a very accomplished free throw shooter. Not showing it off right now, but there's always a second half.
There's also the second half of the 2 shots, and here it comes. Airborne. Good. 3 for 7 she is from the free throw line. Our first lead change of the ball game.
And she did her job, went in there. They ran the play, threw her to her, got one of the 2 free throws to go now. She subbed right back out since she's got 3.
Here's a steal by Gallatin, down to 5 seconds. Gallatin has the ball stripped away from her, still has it, down to 2, down to 1. Will somebody shoot? They will not. They won't get a shot off. End of the first half in a flurry. And Joel, we have to be impressed. Snohomish down by 10. We were already thinking, okay, what are we doing after the game? And it's there they go. The Panthers are up by 1 at the half.
What a great job by the Panthers. A lot of youth, a lot playing some big minutes there. Didn't panic. Well, they did for a little bit, but didn't panic as they got down there. Good coaching, a couple buckets to go. It's amazing what calms the nerves and how fast that can happen.
So we are at the half with our score. The Snohomish Panthers 24, the Ferndale Golden Eagles 23. Thanks for being with us, and we'll be back right after this timeout.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi electric cooling and heating system allows you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. And because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Panthers leading the Ferndale Golden Eagles. Our KRKO Radio Sports halftime show powered by the Snohomish County PUD. Snohomish PUD has been energizing life in our communities for more than 70 years. That's why your PUD is a proud supporter of broadcasting Western Conference high school athletics in our community. Check out their website at snowpud.com/SR for more smart rewards, smart rebates, and smart ideas. Take a look at the first half numbers with Buddy Patrick.
And we will start with the visiting Ferndale Golden Eagles. At the half, they shot 10 for 23 at 43%, 2 for 5 from three-point range for 40%. They were 0 for 4 from the line, from the free throw line. Individually for Ferndale, leading the scoring, Jamie Johnson with 7 points, Jocelyn Siegs with 3, Kaylee Bungard with 4 points, and Jacqueline Denham with 3 points. The Ferndale Golden Eagles with 17 turnovers in the first half. For the Snohomish Panthers, they were 7 for 17 from the field, 41%, 2 for 7 from three-point range for 29%, and 6 for 16 from the line for 38%. Individually leading the scoring, Cheyenne Rogers for the Panthers with 6 points, Ella Gallatin 4 points, Gracie Van Ash 4 points, and the Panthers had 7 turnovers. Tom.
That is the way the numbers look. We'll give you another halftime score in girls basketball. Montlake Terrace down 24-11 to Ingram also at the half. We will come back. Second half tip-off coming up. 1 minute break here. Snohomish 24, Ferndale 23. Back in 1 minute right after this. Oh, let me turn this back on.
I'm actually...
All right.
Which one? The free throw?
Leading at 24-23, and they start in the white uniforms, moving to our left. They try to bounce pass underneath the Beckman. The ball's going to be knocked away, and it's going to be controlled by Ferndale off the turnover. Ball knocked away here by Snohomish, so Ferndale retains possession. 25 on the shot clock. Just underway, second half of action. Go ahead.
Sorry, Ferndale was in that 2-3 zone, Tom, but you saw they put Ella Gallatin into the middle of that as a post there. Took her out of that normal point guard position she started in, just trying to mix things up.
Jamie Johnson, little scoop lay-in, goes around the defender, no good. Then two bodies on the floor. Johnson's down there. Beckman goes down there. Another shot misses for Ferndale, and then Snohomish has it, except a bad pass by Rogers, intercepted. Down the other way we go, laying up, and it is good by Hannah Barleen, who she was down on the floor. She just got up, and then suddenly there was a steal further up floor. She says, I'll be waiting right here when you come back. Here's a turnaround jumper by Gallatin. Offline left, no good. That's Ella Gallatin. Kinsley Gallatin, her sister, older sister, is not playing tonight, already signed to play at Central, and not playing because of a quad injury. Keep her out of this non-league game. A couple of Burns with a quick bucket there for Ferndale, and it's a 27-24 lead for the Ferndale Golden Eagles. Gallatin tries to answer on the other end. Pull-up jumper from 15 feet away won't good. Beckman throws an outlet pass up the floor, and over and back will be the call, and it'll be another turnover. It'll be Ferndale basketball as we have had our second lead change of this ball game.
And Ferndale's really doing that. We talked about it early in that first half, but really pressuring that 2-3 zone, putting those top two players a lot higher up, trying to put more pressure on the Panthers, and it's just kind of making things a little funny for them. They just need to calm down, settle down. Snohomish just needs to take control of that basketball.
Couple of shots here by Ferndale that won't go, and it'll be controlled here by the Ferndale Golden Eagles in their front court to our right. Ferndale in the black uniforms with dark blue numbers and then some gold and white trim moving to our right out of the Northwest Conference. Overplaying the defense, but turning around and then laying it up and in is Hannah Barleen. You get the feeling part of the let's get it down to Barleen.
Yeah, and a little bit of a freshman mistake right there in defense by Sarah Rogers, kind of gamble on the top side. Gave up that drop step lay, and real easy for Barleen just to execute that.
So they've gone from 1 down to 5 up at 29-24 has Ferndale. Snohomish passing the ball around, 14 on the shot clock to Ella Gallatin. Back out as they tried for a pass. The ball went out of bounds. Last touch there by Ashley Thomas. So it'll be still Snohomish's basketball in front court. Sarah Rogers will throw it in. 9 on the shot clock.
9 on the shot clock.
And she'll throw it in. Looking down underneath. It goes to Gallatin. Bounces out to Beckman. Beckman didn't know it was coming. Now there's bodies on the floor. Down to 3 on the shot clock. And I'm not sure what he's calling. As we're going to have a foul call, a pushing foul.
Yeah.
They're going to call they're going to get Ella Gallatin with the foul. Her third personal foul. First team foul of the second half. So Ferndale gets the basketball, and they'll bring it in. Bounce pass down. Stolen away by Gallatin. Back the other way we go. You can't really take her out.
No, I was just going to say it, Tom. And if Snohomish wants to kind of stem this little bleed that's happened here now they're down 5, Ella Gallatin needs to stay in the game.
She will stay in, playing with 3 personal fouls.
And this is that talk as a head coach. You've got to know, or I know Ken Roberts is very confident in Ella Gallatin's abilities and having her play through. And these are those moments you kind of have to grow as a player and say, your coach trusts you to play through this, but don't get your 4th.
Little flurry of a couple of turnovers here. Snohomish turns it over, and then Ferndale double dribbles and turns it right back over. So it'll be Snohomish basketball. 5:45 to go, third quarter, down by 5, 29-24. As Gallatin tried to go for a shot, as it was kind of blocked right back at her, but back out for a shot on the outside by Soderstrom. That's a miss. And the rebound controlled by Ferndale. The ball's carried out of bounds. Last touch by Snohomish. As Brianna Burns kind of just shrugged her shoulders and said, what are you going to do?
Well, and I think Burns was thinking, she's a quick player, Tom. She's able to get out in front of that break, thinking I probably have a lay-in right here, and all of a sudden not 1 but 2 Panthers go flying by her as 2 Jets just going by and sweep that ball out of bounds.
So inbounds here at the baseline for Ferndale. Finally, they will get it in. Out to Thomas. Out between the circles. Ashley Thomas on the right-handed dribble.
Snohomish in a man-to-man defense. They've started out and stayed in it this half so far.
Down low it goes to Bungard. Bungard tried to pass it off to... Yeah, she got it to her teammate, Jamie Johnson, and then the ball was tapped out of bounds by Snohomish.
And nice block right there. Deflection by Kalen Beckman, but they weren't able to secure that rebound, so now it's Ferndale ball out of bounds underneath the hoop, 11 on the shot clock.
Inbounds it goes. Down to 9 on the shot clock. Way out topside they are. Looking. Tough defense there by Kayla Soderstrom. And a timeout called by Ferndale. And Terry Yost kind of looked surprised, like, I wasn't really going to call a timeout here, and I'm not sure she wanted to with 4 seconds on the shot clock.
She looked at referee Donnie Johnson when he said timeout. What do you want? And she goes, mm-hmm. And she looked at her assistant coach and said, I didn't call one. But, hey, 4 on the shot clock. It was probably going to be a 5 count right there on her own player. Maintain possession of the basketball. On the side, though, she got 4 seconds to inbound it from the sideline. Look for maybe something, a player cutting to the hoop on this one, see if Ferndale can't cash in still.
These two teams met a year ago, actually less than a year ago, Wednesday, February 13th in the district tournament. Snohomish won that one 47-34. That's the last time they met. They did not play during the regular season a year ago. And so it'll be out of bounds here for Ferndale coming out of the timeout. Looking on the inbounds to the near side. 4 on the shot clock. It goes into Johnson. She'll put up a shot, rattles and goes, just like they drew it up.
Oh, man, Brianna Burns right there. Got the ball tapped away, got it back, looked to pass. Oh, just throw it up there, and it goes in.
It does, and here's a near steal here. Snohomish kind of a little careless with the basketball, but still controlling it. Soderstrom with it. Now bounces it back out to the top of the key. It goes to Gallatin. It dribbles in. Toughly contested there. So they work the perimeter, but Johnson will get the rebound or get the steal. So then she goes down out to the floor, but got it to her teammate. The lane is up and good by Ashley Thomas. And it's a 33-24 9-point lead for the Ferndale Golden Eagles with 4:22 to go in the third quarter.
And this pressure from Ferndale hasn't been anything in the backcourt at all, but just this half court. Another steal right there for Ferndale.
Thomas laying up. Good.
There's the timeout.
There's a timeout called by Snohomish. As they do, we will as well with 4:08 to go in the third quarter. Our score. It's the biggest lead, equaling the biggest lead of the game for the Ferndale Golden Eagles. 35-24 Ferndale. 4:08 to go in the third quarter. Back with more right after this timeout.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Radio Network producer Brandon Hamilton reminding us of last year's debacle of a district. Well, I mentioned the district tournament. Let's not have another one of those with the snow again this year.
Yeah, it got abbreviated down to, I don't know, a few days. They had to play back-to-back-to-back days.
In fact, that Snohomish-Ferndale game was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, was that not supposed to happen in Ferndale at one point?
I think so.
And they moved it down because the snow had already hit up there, and they had to move that game earlier, so in case they wouldn't get snowed in down here, just a debacle.
Here's a turnaround jumper by Beckman up and good for Snohomish. Stems the tide a little bit. I had mentioned it was equal the biggest lead. Actually, it is the biggest lead, was 11 points here for Ferndale. And they'll get that again as a little turnaround jumper from underneath the hoop is up, and it is good by Kaylee Bungard. And it's 37-26 Golden Eagles with 3:40 to go in the third quarter. And another steal. Lots and lots and lots of steals. Ferndale going in, laying good. That is Ashley Thomas. 6 steals. We got 6 turnovers and a half by Snohomish so far.
And I think it's on 5 steals, actually, too.
So.
It's not just on turnovers by Snohomish. It's actually on steals taken away. Oh, my goodness.
Bungard with the last bucket. Now a foul on the other end here, and Beckman will go to the free throw line. And this foul is going to be on Kaylee Bungard.
And one of the things you see early on in the season, Tom, and this happens every year, is you see teams, especially when they have new guards, kind of fresh guard play as Beckman puts down that first free throw, is teams that are really scrappy and kind of frenetic in your face a little bit, which in the half court, Ferndale's doing. They're not doing it in the full court, but in the half court they're doing that, and it just kind of disrupts the flow and the rhythm. And Snohomish has those young guards that really aren't taking care of that ball, aren't being strong with it, aren't chinning the ball, facing up, actually attacking the defense. Really just creating a lot of pressure situations for the young Panther guards.
And Ferndale's taking advantage.
Absolutely. It almost has been looking like a right-handed lay-in drill for the last 3 minutes.
Bungard with the foul, her 4th. And then a couple of free throws. It's 40-28. The lead is a dozen now for the Ferndale Golden Eagles. And then the ball is knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Ferndale, so they commit a turnover. And it'll be Snohomish Panther basketball. 3:07 to go, quarter 3 at Snohomish High School.
Well, if I'm Coach Terry Yost, I would have said either that's out of bounds on Kaylin Beckman or it's a foul because she went over my girl to get to that ball. But Snohomish was able to retain possession or gain possession right there.
Sarah Rogers, then underneath it goes to Gallatin, laying up and good. Ella Gallatin receives the pass to the baseline, lays it up and in. And it's a 30 points for Snohomish, 39 for Ferndale. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Ferndale. So they commit a couple of turnovers, and Panthers, if they can take advantage. They had 2 points off a turnover their last trip. We'll see what they do here. Across the timeline comes Jada Anderson.
And one of the few times the 2-3 zone for Ferndale has sat back and waited for the Panthers, and you see them starting to attack more inside.
Gallatin turnaround jumper that won't go. Rebound controlled by Ferndale. Jacqueline Denham grabs it, and it'll be Ferndale basketball. 2:20 to go in the third. Johnson at the right wing in front of the Ferndale bench to our right. Down low it goes, going in, little runner, going to be no good by Jacqueline Denham. Controlled by Snohomish, Panthers with it, up the floor, going in. Step through move, laying up, no good. Soderstrom, the battle for the rebound is going to be won by Snohomish, but taken away by Ferndale. Golden Eagles with it. Johnson with a bounce pass forward, intended for Klein, but the ball went out of bounds. And Jamie Johnson saying, yeah, that's my bad. Bounce pass forward running down the lane is not the way to go.
It's a tough one, especially when there's only about 6 feet of separation between you and the receiver right there. Chelsea LaPlante checking back into the game for the Ferndale Golden Eagles. That senior had some really good moments in that second quarter specifically, Tom. Thought she might be able to in this situation as Kaylin Beckman subs out. Look for her maybe to put some exert her authority on that lower block.
Ferndale inbounds it at the baseline. 23 on the shot clock. Looking, finally gets it in to the top of the key to Burns. As they swing it on top to Klein. Klein dribble drive along the right side of the key. Laying up and good. One around 3 defenders. Laid it up over the top and in. And it's 41-30. Ferndale by 11.
And Ella Gallatin had the help side defense there, but with 3 fouls, she can't really come across as authoritatively as she'd want to. Kind of had to let that lay-in go. Wasn't able to be aggressive with it.
On top, Snohomish with it. Jada Anderson puts up a shot that won't go. 3 ball from outside and controlled by Ferndale. Golden Eagles with a whole bunch of defensive rebounds today. Ella Ochoa swings the pass right side to Jocelyn Sieg. Down low it goes, off the glass, too hard, no good by LaPlante. Gets her own rebound back up and in. She had a little stick-to-itiveness there, and she grabbed it right back, put it back up and in, and LaPlante with the bucket, and it's 43-30. Up by 13 are the Golden Eagles. Gallatin has it. Over the left-hand side for a 3 ball on the way. Good. Ooh. Kayla Soderstrom will drain it for the Snohomish Panthers. Down to 36 seconds to go in the third quarter. It's a 10-point lead for the Golden Eagles. Gallatin fronting the defender, and she gets a steal. Knocks it away. Grabbed by the Panthers. Anderson up the floor, but turnabout is fair play. We go back the other way. Jacqueline Denham leading it down low, going out of bounds. Not quite. Save there. Saved by Klein. The shot clock is dead. 14 to go in the quarter. Outside, 3 ball on the way. Offline, right, no good by Denham. Chased out of bounds off of Ferndale. It'll be Snohomish ball with 7.2 on the clock. Coming up to the end of the third quarter. Beckman will check back in for Snohomish.
And this is one of those things where it's a 10-point deficit, but with 7 seconds left, you can kind of seize a little bit of the momentum heading into the fourth quarter if, as the Panthers are able to maybe get a bucket right here.
Got a long way to go. Down to 4, down to 3. Across the timeline they go. Gallatin has it. Down to 1. Will she get it off? She does and won't count. as it doesn't go, and we have reached the end of the third quarter. 43-33. Ferndale by 10. The fourth quarter coming up after a 1-minute break right here on KRKO.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
To 9 in the quarter, Joel Boyer.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That's, it's not all on the halftime talk from the coach.
Right.
But if I'm going to judge that based on the output of the quarter, great job by Coach Terry Yost getting that in her first year here at the helm in her first game, getting her team to really respond to that flurry of Snohomish scoring at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, Ferndale 20-9 in the quarter. They lead at 43-33. We start the fourth quarter of action. Looking to pass through as Snohomish has it. Out the left-hand side to Soderstrom, 10 on the shot clock. Right side to Rogers. Rogers bounce pass underneath to Beckman, but the ball's stolen away. Taken by Ferndale, going in, laying up. No, I'm not sure if it was a lay-in or a reverse pass. Either way, there's bodies on the floor. The jump ball will be called, and it will be controlled by the Ferndale Golden Eagles in their front court down to our right. And Buddy Patrick has a look at the third quarter numbers.
Ferndale shot 10 for 17 from the field, 59%.
Ooh.
Snohomish 3 for 9 from the field for 33%.
Here's an outside three ball on the way. No good. Missed by Jocelyn Sieg for Ferndale. And Snohomish will grab the rebound. Down by 10. And moving it to our left.
Tom, that number that stood out to me that Buddy just said to us, 17 shot attempts in the quarter by the Ferndale Golden Eagles. That is a lot of shot attempts.
Here's a pull-away jumper on the way. Good. Rattles and goes for the Snohomish Panthers, Cheyenne Rogers. And it's 43-35. 8-point lead for Ferndale. Now dribble drive along the right side. Kick it back out for a three ball on the way. Off the side of the iron, no good. A miss by Sieg and controlled here by Snohomish. Panthers out of back guard going in. Laying no good by Rogers. Ball knocked out of bounds. It was partially blocked there and knocked out of bounds. Did we only have one foul called? And we've had one foul on each team called in this second half. Wow.
There was a lot of transition buckets, Tom, that were pretty alone for the Golden Eagles.
We got to cut these officials' pay in half if they're not going to blow their whistles.
Well, Coach Ken Roberts is looking for that button as well right now.
Here's a turnover grabbed by the Ferndale Golden Eagles off of Snohomish inbounds. And here's a whistle going to be called. I looked up, I saw fouls 1 and 1. Really? So this one is going to be, though, on Rogers, Cheyenne Rogers, her fourth personal foul, second team foul. One of the officials just turned around that's going to inbound the ball, looked up and goes, whoa, I guess we didn't call many fouls in the half so far. Inbounds here. We're at 6:34 to go in the game. On the inbounds, it goes to Brianna Burns. Missed the shot, no good. Back up, off the window, too hard, no good by Burns again. And then now a foul is going to be called coming in off of the rebound, and Brianna Burns will be at the free throw line. The foul is going to be here on Sarah Rogers, her second personal foul, third team foul. And Brianna Burns at the line for the Eagles.
Ken Roberts was hoping right there for Sarah Rogers, who did get that foul call on her, did foul, but he wanted to raise her hand right away and say, ref, that was on me, not on my sister, who has kind of had some contact from behind the shooter, who has 4 fouls right now. Ken hoping to keep Cheyenne Rogers in the game a little bit longer with those 4 fouls.
The other game we're keeping an eye on, our colleague Steve Willits is down at the Mount Lake Terrace Ingram game. 31-19 Rams going into the fourth quarter against the Hawks. We'll hope that's not a portent of things to come on Sunday night, the Hawks and the Rams. Here's an outside 3-2. It's a 2. Donnie Johnson turns around. Rado says 2 for Sarah Rogers. Puts it in, and it's 45-37.
And that was the first time we'd seen any point guard play from Snohomish. Turnover right there by the Golden Eagles, picked up by Sarah Rogers. First time we'd seen a Snohomish point guard actually attack that high-pressure zone, that 2-3, where they send those top two running right at her, Tom. Cheyenne Rogers definitely went right around that and was able to find her sister for an open 18-footer.
Hannah Barleen is called for the reach-in foul coming out of backcourt, her second personal, second team foul. Snohomish inbounds down by 8. Entry pass to the baseline, going in, no good by Beckman. Kind of lost her balance as she went to the floor. Then a late whistle after that, and they'll whistle this one on Kaylee Bungard. Her 5th personal foul. If we have they signaled that yet? Bungard will foul out. I guess already been replaced. They're saying 5.
Looks like 32 with those 5 fouls. You
Yep.
know, one of the things that we were just talking about, that was a late whistle right there from Donnie Johnson. But in all fairness, that was not his area. That was both kind of his other two partners had that ball converging kind of in between their two zones. The thing that it's hard because a lot of people are like, that was so late and that was just hard to hear. But at the same time, you want the right call made, and that was the right call. So even though it was a little late, Kalen Beckman's knocked to the floor. He was giving his partners a chance to call it, but he's going to blow that. I think that's a good piece of officiating, in my opinion. I know they might get docked a little bit by the association, but I think it's the right thing.
Here's a lay-in up. It's going to be a miss, no good by Barley. Grabbed by Snohomish, down by 6, 45-39. Remember, they were down by 10 at the end of the first half and ended up leading at the end of the half by 1. Here's a runner by Gallatin, won't go. Beckman is down hard on the floor. She'll get up and kind of under some duress will make it to the other end of the floor. It's out of bounds here for Ferndale. 5:29 to go in the game. 6-point lead for the Golden Eagles.
You kind of feel this is one of those that if the Panthers are able to pull out and win this game, Tom, it's going to be the last minute of the game. They're going to take a lead and barely hang on because they've sure been having to play from behind a lot tonight.
And here's a near steal, but a foul called. As again, Beckman spent more time on the floor than she has standing here in this ball game. And another foul call. This one's going to be on Ashley Thomas, her first personal foul, and the 4th team foul. So out of bounds baseline for Snohomish, down by 6, 5:19 to go. Here come the Panthers. It goes to Beckman. Now to Soderstrom. Out on top again to Rogers. Dribbled it into backcourt. She kind of held up. She knew it was over and back, and I'm not sure it was going to be called.
Well, and that call was kind of made by Coach Terry Yost to the Ferndale Golden Eagles and 2 players for the Ferndale Golden Eagles. But Cheyenne Rogers kind of did the Cardinal sin. Don't stop. Just keep playing. And sometimes if you just keep playing, the ref's like, well, you're still playing. Must not have been anything. So,
Right.
Unfortunately, Cheyenne Rogers stopped and had that guilty look on her face, and they caught it.
Yeah. If you get an interception, keep running.
Just keep running. make them call you back a long time after.
Here's an inbounds play for Ferndale, but they can't handle it. Ball goes out of bounds on the far sideline, almost into the garbage can. And it'll be now for the Snohomish Panthers down by 6. 5 minutes to play in the basketball game.
There are no points awarded if you put it in the garbage can,
Nope.
Tom. Only in the hoop.
So Panthers with it. Down by 6. Out on top, Cheyenne Rogers. Rogers goes right side to Soderstrom. Now down to Gallatin. Splits the defender off the front of the iron. No good. And Ella Gallatin will be at the free throw line.
And that's one of those great places for Ella Gallatin to set up in that short corner, kind of that space between the corner and the block, but sunk in towards the baseline. But that short corner area, we call that. But her on that right side, Ella Gallatin's a lefty. So being on that right side, she can really attack baseline with that strong left hand of hers. Got to the free throw line. Unfortunately, she missed that first one, Tom. Gosh, those Panthers really need to put down some free throws at this point.
Jamie Johnson picked up the foul. That's her 4th personal foul. 5th team foul. First free throw, no good, as Joel said. And another one on the way here for Gallatin. Airborne and no good. Missed them both, but the rebound's going to be controlled by Van Asche. Van Asche gets it for Snohomish, so they'll reset the shot clock and have another chance at it. Little entry pass there, almost knocked away. To the right side, it goes to Rogers. The baseline's closed off, so back out for a 3-ball, no good by Gallatin. Rims off, no good, and rebound controlled by Ferndale. Josie Klein with it as she comes out of backcourt. Right back to Klein again for the lay-in up, and it is good.
Oh, what a nice backdoor cut right there.
Give and go with Denham.
Yep, Kayla Soderstrom got caught looking at that ball a little too long. Didn't see her man go behind her.
So it's an 8-point lead for Ferndale. Overplay on the defense here. Ella Gallatin had it at the foul line. They're going to whistle this one on Jacqueline Denham. She picks up the 3rd personal foul, 6th team foul for Ferndale. So Snohomish has it at the baseline. One more puts them into the bonus. They're still 4 away on the Snohomish side, but here's a steal. Stolen away by Ferndale, and then I think it's going to be a travel. It will. As Hannah Barling kind of got mixed up in the feet of a couple of Snohomish Panthers and committed the turnover. So 25 turnovers for the Ferndale Golden Eagles.
Wow.
But they lead by 8.
They lead still.
Yeah. 47-39. Inside 4 minutes now to play in the game. Looking out on top as they work it around, and here's a steal. Another steal by 20 for the Snohomish Panthers, have 20 turnovers. So this is not one you're going to put into the vault.
No.
But opening night.
Opening night, you know it's not going to be quite as pretty as you want it to be. Both these teams, oh, what a tip right there by Cheyenne Rogers.
She gets it. She goes in. The laying up, no, she missed it. Follow up by Gallatin, too high, no good. Battle for the rebound, one. So an excellent opportunity by Snohomish, but they could not capitalize. Ferndale basketball.
What an athletic play by Cheyenne Rogers. Tipped that ball in flight, tipped it ahead to herself. She tracked it down.
Here's another one. Stolen away by Soderstrom. Goes in, laying up. It is good. And a timeout called by Snohomish.
It's already granted to Ken Roberts, and the official looked at Coach Yost and said, "Do you want it?" She goes, I'll let him call it. That's fine. She keeps her timeout another time.
So Snohomish down to 2 timeouts and Ferndale to 3 timeouts as these two teams, as we mentioned, met in the district tournament a year ago. Ferndale continues their season. On Friday, they will host Redmond up at Ferndale High School. Those kids from Redmond will think that they're in Juneau, Alaska for how far they're going to have to drive on that bus.
Oh, yeah.
The Mount Vernon kids, they get it. Black Hills, they're from kind of out in the hills. So
well,
they
Black Hills
is a long way. We'll take on Port Angeles and Gig Harbor in the Cloud 9 Christmas Classic. That's at Linden Christian and Linden High School.
Absolutely.
That's a nice tournament.
Oh, it's a fantastic tournament. That town just really revolves around basketball. They do a great job putting on a great tournament. Yeah, Cloud9 Sports is really such a enthusiast of high school basketball. Fantastic.
And Snohomish during the Christmas break will take on Lake Stevens on the 28th, and on Monday the 30th, Burlington Edison, they'll host them. At Lake Stevens, when they play there, it'll be a brand new gym. Lake Stevens High School opening up their new gym here a week from Wednesday, week from tomorrow. Here's a laying up, go, no good. Missed by Ferndale, back up, and this one will have 2 shots coming up off the miss by Jacqueline Denham, and Denham will be at the free throw line. 2:51 to play in the game. It's a 6-point lead for Ferndale.
And we talked about this early on in that second quarter, specifically in that second quarter, that first half there, Tom. We talked about second chance opportunities. And it really feels like Ferndale's run here has been fueled by those second chance opportunities. They're able to cash in for points in that third quarter, that 20-9 advantage in that quarter. just cashing in on those opportunities finally.
First free throw, no good. Second one, airborne. It is good. The lead is 7 points at 48-41, 2:50 to go. Last call for Snohomish, I think. If something doesn't happen here, it'd be a tough road. Panthers with it, top of the key. Anderson with it. Now right side to Cheyenne Rogers. Dribbled to the baseline. It's going to go to Beckman. Go down. Back out for a three ball on the way. Will it go? It will not. Side of the iron, no good by Cheyenne Rogers. Controlled by Ferndale.
Oh, that would have helped. That would have helped. I know that's just pretty much the Captain Obvious call, but, man, cutting that lead from 7 down to 4 would have been fantastic right there. But look for the Panthers. With 2:13 left, Tom, they can play tough, hard-nosed defense right now. See if they can get a stop or a turnover.
Here's a dribble in, laying up, no good. Josie Klein, and rebound controlled by the Snohomish Panthers. 2 minutes to play in the game. On top it goes to Anderson. Looks right, goes to Soderstrom. Tick, tick, tick. You got to put some points up. You're down by 7 with 1:48 to go now. 13 on the shot clock. Still they haven't put up a shot. 9 on the shot clock, out by the center line. Now here's a little run through as a lot of dribbling. Here's a turnaround jumper that won't go. That was at the 2-second mark on the shot clock.
Yeah,
and it'll be controlled by Ferndale.
You didn't want that shot clock to tick down that far and then not get points out of it. That's just a tough one on the offensive end for the Panthers.
48-41 the score. Here's a little dribble drive laying up, and it is good by Hannah Barleen. And that will just about do it as they lead now. Ferndale does 50-41 with 1:07 to play. Out on top of the key as Snohomish has it. Rogers. It goes a step through by Gallatin. Back out for Rogers. 3 ball on the way. Side iron, no good. Who's got it? It's going to be controlled by Ferndale. No, it's going to be was controlled by Ferndale. Then a travel call on Jamie Johnson with 51.7 seconds to go, and time to start talking about our player of the game.
Yeah, and this is one of those things where, honestly, the Ferndale Golden Eagles, there's been so much sharing on that team. I mean, it sounds so kind, I guess, but they've done a really good job of being unselfish. A lot of players getting steals, moving that ball. We're going to have to talk to Buddy Patrick here about the stats possibly too, but I've been really impressed with in Coach Yost's first game at the helm of this club. And like she said, they were used to be a really tall physical team last year with 4 6-footers all graduating. Now it's a whole different looking roster really when it just comes to the player personnel. And they've done a really good job of getting the most and getting the strengths out of their players tonight in 48 seconds looks to be win.
Well, so let's Buddy, let's give us a rundown of some of the stats.
Kaylee Bungard with 8 points. She fouled out Jamie Johnson with 7 points. And that's kind of Brianna Burns with 6 points.
I like Johnson.
You know, I was just going to say Burns, to be honest. I really thought she had those hands, I felt like, in that third quarter that really sparked a lot of those turnovers. Really felt like they were kind of able to get out there and run on that. Really impressed with just kind of her poise and demeanor.
We can go with with Johnson. Or no, Brianna Burns, right? You like her? We'll go with you.
Is that going to offend you?
Nope. You've known me a long time. When was the last time I was offended? No, it's not going to.
Not by something I said.
Ball knocked out of bounds. Snohomish has it in front court. Oh, excuse me, a foul. Gallatin will be at the free throw line. 50-41 the score, 20.4 seconds to go. And Brianna Burns, we like as our player of the game. And we'll talk to her here in just a couple of minutes. Get a quick word from our player of the game. Shot on the way, up, and it is no good. Battle for the rebound, won by Ferndale, down to 16 seconds to go, and a jump ball call. And it's going to stay on this end of the floor, and it'll be Ferndale basketball. No, Snohomish basketball, right? They're pointing
Snohomish
here.
Basketball. Yep, Snohomish.
Yeah, but they haven't put anybody over there to throw it. Okay, now they say, somebody's got to do this part. Okay, Panthers with it down to the final 12 seconds to go as they work it around. to Beckman. And then the ball knocked away from her. Down to 5, down to 4. Foul called in backcourt. And that will be just about that with 4.3 seconds to go. We'll take a quick timeout right at the end of regulation time, and then we'll come back with our player of the game. A couple of subs coming in for the final 4.3. Coach Brian Hill of the Glacier Peak Grizzlies has seen enough. He's heading for the exits.
I don't think he's going to find a play in the last 4.3 seconds that's going to really spur his team on.
As the Grizzlies and the Panthers will play on next Monday.
Leave it.
Inbounds, and here you go. Final score. The Ferndale Golden Eagles 50 and the Snohomish Panthers 41. And so we'll take a break, come back, have our player of the game. Again, the final score, Ferndale 50, Snohomish 41. 1 minute break, coming back with our player of the game right after this timeout.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
Schools, Keith Gilbertson Senior Sports and Fitness Center, where tonight the Ferndale Golden Eagles get the win 50-41, and our player of the game is Brianna Burns, who's joined us up here in the press area. And did you have fun tonight?
I had so much fun. It was so much fun being able to start our season with a game like that.
Well, and to be honest, Joel and I, when we were talking about who our player of the game was, it was hard to pick because we thought everybody on your team played a good game tonight.
We play so well together, and then there's not like each other's weaknesses are also our strengths. Like, we are all there for each other and like have each other's back. Like, say I'm bad at dribbling, Ashley has my back. Like, it's just like the versatility in our team is amazing, and I love it.
Talk about a couple of the other players that you're playing with out there. Not who your favorite is, but who's your favorite? Who do you know, like you said, she's got my back?
I think Ashley Thomas, she definitely has my back. I know that if I need to get out of a sticky situation, I know she'll be able to get me out, and I depend on a shot or setting me up, like anything. But I can't just say Ashley because they all do it for me. They all do it for me.
Absolutely. And talk about new head coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your senior year, you've had the same coach for a few years. Talk about that transition, obviously first game tonight, but just kind of the feeling that you're having coming into the season.
Yeah, obviously we miss Coach Ivy, of course.
Yep.
But it's just a new kind of like set of fresh eyes and different kind of understanding of us. I mean, she's a younger female, so it's easier to kind of connect with younger females.
Absolutely.
But she pushes us, and I love that. I love a coach that can push me and tell me exactly what I'm doing wrong, and I can fix it.
Great.
So.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for being with us.
Oh, thank you guys.
Good job tonight, and you got a long bus ride home.
Yeah.
There you go. That's our player of the game, Brianna Burns. We'll thank her. We're going to get some pictures with her, and we'll talk about our player of the game and all that coming up here. Again, the final score, 50-41. The Ferndale Golden Eagles and the Snohomish Panthers 41. Stay with us. Our radio postgame show coming up right after this.
That's great right there. Awesome. Hey, congratulations.